The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the deserted highway. The asphalt shimmered with heat, and the occasional gust of wind carried the faint scent of gasoline and dust. It was the kind of place where nothing ever happened until it did. A pack of bikers roared down the road, their engines growling like wild beasts. They were a rough-looking bunch, clad in leather jackets adorned with patches and chains. Their laughter echoed through the empty landscape as they pulled over to the side of the road, kicking up gravel and dust. One of them, a burly man with a shaved head and a sneer, pointed to a small figure crouched near the guardrail. It was a stray dog, scrawny and matted, its fur a patchwork of brown and white. The dog's ribs were visible beneath its thin coat, and its eyes were wide with fear. It had been wandering the area for days, scavenging for scraps and avoiding humans, but now it was cornered. The bikers circled the dog, revving their engines and laughing. One of them, a woman with a cigarette dangling from her lips, tossed an empty soda can at the dog. It yelped and scrambled backward, its tail tucked between its legs. The bikers howled with laughter, clearly amused by the dog's fear. "Look at this mutt," the burly man jeered, kicking a pebble in the dog's direction. "Think it's tough, huh? Bet it's never even seen a real bike before." The dog whimpered, its eyes darting from one biker to another. It was clear that it wanted to run, but the bikers had blocked its escape. The woman with the cigarette leaned down, blowing smoke in the dog's face. "What's the matter, pup? Scared of a little fun?" But then, something unexpected happened. The dog's ears perked up, and its posture shifted. It stopped cowering and stood up straight, its tail slowly rising. The bikers paused, their laughter fading as they noticed the change in the dog's demeanor. It was as if the dog had decided it wasn't going to be intimidated anymore. The burly man frowned. "What's it doing? Trying to look tough?" Before anyone could respond, the dog let out a low, rumbling growl. It was a sound that seemed to come from deep within its chest, a sound that sent a chill down the spines of everyone who heard it. The bikers exchanged uneasy glances, their bravado faltering. And then, the dog did something that left them all speechless. It lunged. The dog moved faster than anyone could have anticipated, darting between the bikers with surprising agility. It didn't attack them. Instead, it headed straight for the bikes. With a swift, calculated motion, it clamped its jaws around the burly man's keys, which were dangling from the ignition of his motorcycle. The keys jingled as the dog yanked them free, then bolted down the highway. The bikers stared in stunned silence for a moment before the woman with the cigarette shouted, "Hey, get back here, you little thief!" But the dog was already gone, disappearing into the distance with the keys clutched firmly in its mouth. The bikers scrambled to their bikes, only to realize that without the keys, they were stranded. The burly man cursed loudly, kicking the gravel in frustration. "That mutt just stole my keys," he roared. "How the hell are we supposed to get out of here?" The woman shook her head, her cigarette forgotten. "I don't know, but we can't just sit here. We've got to catch that dog." The bikers set off on foot, following the dog's trail. But the dog was clever. It led them on a wild chase, darting through bushes and doubling back on its tracks. The bikers grew more and more frustrated as the sun began to set, casting the highway in an eerie orange glow. Finally, exhausted and out of breath, the bikers gave up. They returned to their bikes, cursing the dog and each other. The burly man slumped against his motorcycle, glaring at the horizon. "I can't believe this," he muttered. "We got outsmarted by a damn stray." As the bikers sat there, defeated, the dog reappeared. It stood a safe distance away, the keys still in its mouth. Its tail wagged slowly, and its eyes gleamed with something that almost looked like triumph. The bikers stared at it, too tired to even react. The dog dropped the keys on the ground, then let out a single, sharp bark before turning and trotting away. The bikers watched it go, their earlier mockery replaced by a grudging respect. "Well," the woman said finally, picking up the keys and tossing them to the burly man. "I guess we learned not to mess with strays, huh?" The burly man caught the keys, his expression unreadable. "Yeah," he said quietly. "I guess we did." As the bikers started their engines and rode off into the sunset, the dog watched from a distance. It had won the battle, not with strength, but with wit and courage. And as it disappeared into the shadows, it left behind a lesson that the bikers would never forget. Even the smallest and most vulnerable creatures can surprise you when you least expect it.